Welcome, everybody. I would say that this is a Press Start Gaming thing just to annoy Geoff, but it's not. This is our Cyberpunk impression podcast. That's a lot of P's. So I'm Todd, we got Endrew, we got Ed, we got Nick. Justin's played it too, but it's Justin, so he's not here. I think, and Geoff has been playing it, and I think that's all out of all of us that have been playing it. So quick rundown of what we're going to talk about today. We're just going to talk about where we are in the game, what we knew about the game before it came out. We'll look at the critical reviews. We'll talk about bugs and then just our overall thoughts. So starting off, we'll do what we knew about the game before it came out.
Okay. Yeah.
Starting with y'all, what did y'all know? How much of the systems and how many trailers did you watch and all that kind of thing?
So I know for myself personally, I watched almost everything I could watch because I wasn't afraid of spoilers because I didn't think they would go too crazy with it, you know?
Right. And
so I was just like, anything you could give me to just kind of help that fix and help me get through every delay a little bit longer, I was in for, you know? Like, I don't know how many times I watched that 46-minute trailer they did.
God.
That was from what, E3 E3 like 4 years ago at this point?
I watched that like a lot just to like look at every little bit in detail of it. And so that was kind of where I was coming from. I know, like, Ed, I think you were the one who was like, no, nothing, I don't want anything.
I only watched whatever they officially put out. Anything that was like rumored or leaked or anything like that, I just shy away from.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was pretty much on the same thing as Endrew. The only difference, though, is that I wasn't watching, let's say, that 45-minute trailer. Good trailer, and it really satiated the itch. But it was at a point in time when No Man's Sky came out.
Right.
So whenever I would see a trailer for that, I was like, oh man, this looked good. And then I would clutch my box copy of No Man's Sky and say,
Sean Murray betrayed me.
Just quell those temptations.
As for me, I'm weird with media. If it's something I'm genuinely interested in, I completely go blackout. I do not look at anything. So I had
ranting about it.
Yeah. So I had never watched a trailer for Cyberpunk. I had never watched any like gameplay, any impressions of it,
Not
really anything.
The Night City Wires they used to do.
Never. Yeah, I didn't do any of that. So I really had no idea what I was walking into. So I was talking to a couple coworkers of mine. They're like, "Oh, what life path are you gonna do?" I'm like, "What the fuck does that mean?" And they're like, "Oh, you know nothing." I was like, "Correct. I know absolutely nothing of this game." So it kind of makes things a little bit different from me, and that also puts me up for major disappointments because if I think it's one game and it turns out it's another, I can really get boned on that, and we'll talk about refunds and all that in a second.
Yeah.
So the reviews are now out everywhere. Two I wanted to highlight are IGN's reviews. Have y'all seen those?
I have not read any reviews about the game since I'm playing it. I don't want anyone like
tell you how to
just in case to run into
exactly.
it. Yeah. Here's the gist of it. There are two reviews, one for PC and then one for the consoles. Or three reviews. One for the older consoles, one for the newer consoles, and then one for PC. No spoilers from what I could see. I just ran through it really fast. I got to the number at the end, which is all that mattered to me. The PC review is 9 out of 10. So it's an amazing score.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Which we'll talk about later. I pretty much agree with. The review for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, the subtitle is not like this. Not like this. And their score is 4 out of 10 for Sunday Match
for this.
I love the reference with the title.
It wrote, bad. Please do not play Cyberpunk 2077 on a base Xbox One or PS4. It is a shockingly bad way to experience what is a fantastic RPG on other hardware.
Oof.
So what are we all playing it on? Are we all on PC?
I think we all are on PC, yes.
Okay. All of us have decent high-end units where none of us are really like ancient computers.
I think we're all running some type of RTX card.
Which I'll get into on that in a minute, because I now am under the impression that my card is broken.
Oh.
We'll get into that a little bit later. Yeah, it's so bad that the New York Times put out an article today. Cyberpunk 2077 developer acknowledges and offers refunds. Mm-hmm. It's gotten that bad. This is their statement. It's a long one, so I might skip through a little bit. First of all, we want to start by apologizing to you for not showing the game on base last-gen consoles before it premiered. That was a mistake on their part. They should have done that. First of all, I wouldn't have even released it on that. But I guess the game was in production for so long, they had to.
It was already...
I mean, it was already slated for it, because I still had my pre-order for the PS4 before I canceled it about a couple of weeks before Cyberpunk came out. Said, nope, I'm just going to do this on PC.
Right.
Like, I had seen that everywhere that had anybody who was reviewing it or got their hands on it early, they only got a PC copy. And everyone's like,
That's a sign. That's a sign.
Isn't it weird? We didn't get a console version. Isn't that weird?
Because if I remember right, like, even like Sony boy Greg Miller played it on PC.
Yeah.
Which is saying something, because if he has the choice, he'll always do a PS4 copy or a PS5 copy.
Yep.
For context, today is December 14th. Podcast version of this should come out the 15th. So we're still a week or two in. Maybe it's like a week. I don't remember when it came out, to be honest.
Yeah,
the 10th.
Yeah. So the second part of their quote is, second, we will fix bugs and crashes in order to improve overall experience. The first round of updates has just been released. I haven't seen a patch or anything get pushed through Steam, which is where I bought my copy.
It did.
Oh, it did?
There was a hot fix that came out the next day.
Oh, okay. And one is coming within the next 7 days. Expect more, and we will update frequently when the new improvements are ready. After the holidays, we'll continue working. I would hope so. This is the only game you're working on right now, I think. We'll release 2 large patches, starting patch 1 in January, followed by patch 2 in February.
Which, to me,
most people will be done with the game by then.
Yeah, to me, that just says, like, if you bought it on console, well, prepare to be waiting a little bit longer, because you ain't going to be... You're not going to play this game until February.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. This game has Outer Worlds vibes with me, where it's a big game that came out, but after about, let's say, a month, no one's talking about it anymore. Because it's a single-player experience.
Right. For now. Isn't there supposed to be a multiplayer later?
To be DLC and everything coming out, but they're not going to pick it back up till that comes out.
Right.
Right. Well, no, there is going to be a multiplayer aspect that
there is later on.
That was said to be like 2 years from now.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a long way from now. We will be informing you about the contents of each patch ahead of the release. They won't make the game on last gen look like it's running on a high-end PC or next-gen console, but it'll be closer to the experience than it is now. Finally, we would always like everyone who buys our games to be satisfied. We'd appreciate if you give us a chance, but if you're not pleased with the game on your console and don't want to wait for updates, you can opt for a refund of your copy for copies digitally purchased. Please use the refund system in PSN or Xbox. For boxed versions, please first try to get a refund at the store you bought the game from. Should this not be possible, please contact helpmerefund@cdprojectred.com. We'll do our best to help you. Starting from today, you can contact us for a week up until December 21st, 2020. Also, PC gamers will get their regular updates and fixes improving the game. The problem with that is, according to the rules that all retail has followed for the last, 20 years?
Yeah, you
can't return open software. It's just a hard pass. Like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know how Best Buy, Target, all these are handling it, because by default, the systems used to just say no.
Yep.
Like
Yeah, they're
the second
handling by
you
saying,
said the
"Sucks for you,
second
kid."
you said open, it was like, no, it's done. Now you could lie to the system and said it wasn't open, but I mean, did Cyberpunk reach out to all these? I guess that's why they had the help me refund at CD Projekt Red. But I haven't. Was it like this for No Man's Sky? I don't remember.
No.
No, it wasn't where they were actively saying go to a store and return it. They did allow you to like a larger grace period for the for like Steam releases,
Right.
where you could refund it. But I think that was more on Steam getting the backlash, and then them saying, "Yeah, they kind of fucked up on this one. Why don't you guys you can refund it a little bit longer?"
Now
But,
you can do digital refunds through Xbox, PS4, or Xbox, PlayStation Network, Steam, and I assume GOG. You have to have played less than a certain amount of time, last I remember. I haven't ever refunded a digital game, I don't think, so I don't really remember the rules on that. But this is like a major thing. And we'll talk about this later. The game's not No Man's Sky level of broken.
On
to me.
PC, definitely not.
On PC, definitely not. Maybe on the consoles, maybe it's that bad.
And
Sadly, we don't have anyone here that bought it because we told Jim not to buy it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jim was like, "Oh, I'm going to buy it for PS4," and we're like, "You're fucking stupid. Don't." I would rather him buy it on his PC, even though his PC is old. Well, it's not really, but it's older hardware and lower end hardware, and just see how it runs, than to put it on the PS4 because it's near unplayable. And maybe 10 years from now, Jim will get a 5-year-old computer that will run it normally, and then we'll be.
It's funny because I'm seeing a lot of people say that a base Xbox One can play it better than a PS4 for some reason. I'm wondering if that has to do with anything with like Microsoft.
It might be because of the way it's coded. Remember the Xbox One generation and after it is way more Windows PC like than the PlayStation 4 and all that shit.
Very true.
Funny, in the Twitter comments, Elon Musk replied to that statement from CD Projekt Red of a picture of Michael Scott with his. Remember when he had his finger through his pants like his dick is out? I don't get why he was doing this, but
oh, that's brilliant.
All right, Elon Musk. Generally, as we were talking about reviews, they're all genuinely positive for PC versions. And again, a lot of us are just kind of omitting the console versions because we don't play them, because we kind of knew that this game wasn't going to run very well, even on our PCs. Like, we all had this assumption. Like, and we're about to talk about like what our rigs are to kind of give you a little bit of context, so you can, if you haven't bought it yet, you can maybe take some of this in mind and move on. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is where we are in the game and what our computers are, which will lead us into bugs and so on. Now, we are not going to do spoilers. We're not going to do it. I kind of set the hard limit on spoilers to the end of Act 1. So if that tells the other guys on the podcast,
spoiler right now, you can't stop me.
I mean, I can edit it later, but poor
Johnny Silverhand died 50 years ago.
Bro, I had no idea. I was so confused. We'll talk about that in a minute. All right, so Andrew, give us a base idea of what your computer is.
All right. So, man, we got to get into that one. That's a loaded stuff, but I'll just tell
he should probably be last.
Oh, you think he should? Because mine with the bustedness, I was going to go last.
Oh, I could go. I'm pretty damn busted.
Oh, are you? Oh, okay. All right, then Nick, go then.
All right, so my rig, let's just start with my graphics card. I have a 2070.
Okay.
Yep.
And I think at the time it was like one of the lower end 2070s, but it's been doing fine for me for a while. And then I have an i7 9700K.
Okay.
So both Oh, and 32 gigs of RAM.
Which we'll talk about RAM's importance in this game. It's nominal. It doesn't matter. I've learned that. Yeah.
And then the last thing is I am running this off of an SSD.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
wait, one more thing is that I have both
Do you have
my
RGB?
GPU
Does that
and
help?
my yeah, and it's got a tempered glass side.
Yes.
So
that makes it run
actually
so
gives
much
me about
faster.
3
got
more
that.
FPS.
He's got that Funko Pop in there too to make it all run cooler.
Oh god, it's so fucking cool.
All right. So how far are you in the game?
Let's say I've passed Act 1,
Okay.
but I can't say how far I am in Act 2 because I haven't gotten to the end yet, so I don't know where I am with it.
All right. How many
But-
hours are you in?
About 40.
40 hours. Okay, that was more than I thought. All right. Ed, go ahead with yours.
Okay. So I'm running a 2080 Super
Okay.
with an i7 8700 non-K, 32
Okay.
gigs of RAM, and SSD. And yeah, I mean, the game has been running fine except for like glitches here and there. But as far as how far I'm in it, I've played it for 49 hours. I actually took yesterday mostly off from playing it because I neglected to do a lot of real life stuff for the past couple of
Understandable.
days. So,
Yeah.
but I just hit Act 3 today.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
yeah, I'm almost done with it.
Good ways.
Okay. So for context on their computers, they're not brand new hardware. Either one for the
Not
people
at
that
all.
aren't computer savvy. The one that Ed just described, his main brain of his computer is 3 years old now, basically. You said 8th gen, right?
Yeah, 8th gen.
And then Nick's is 2 years old now.
Yep.
And then they're both running last generation's graphics cards, which are now dwarfed by the current gen ones.
Yeah. First generation RTX.
Yep.
And we'll talk about what RTX is for y'all in a bit, because that leads into my issues. So I guess I'll go next.
Oh no, I can go next.
oh,
I can
okay.
go next,
All right.
because It'll do everything.
Yeah.
Hey, wait, what was your CPU again, Ed?
i7 8700.
Okay, cool. So you both are running Intel.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. So my rig is a Ryzen 5 3600
Ooh.
CPU. I got it, thankfully. Again, I can never thank my friend Kevin enough for this. I got a 3070 on launch.
Yeah.
So I do have the newest RTX line going in. But as I said, Ryzen 5 3600, we'll get into why that's a little bit important. I have only 16 gigs of RAM. I'm not doing 32. And so I personally haven't really had any big issues with memory, but we'll get into that, I guess. My biggest thing is for me starting, I'm not very far. I would say that I'm in Act 2.
Okay.
But the biggest issues I had was just running the damn thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so we literally had me and Ed and Nick on a just Discord troubleshooting my game just to get it to work, and it finally works.
Oh Lord.
In a good way, and so
Did you have to do that like hex edit?
No,
for the
actually,
AMDs?
So that's what I was going to get into, because these guys have Intel and they were running fine, and I'm like, what's going on? You guys have last
Fine is
year's
relative.
stuff.
You have less cores than me.
I have this. Why can't I at least do the same? Because that's all I wanted was the same,
Right.
and I couldn't, and these guys troubleshooted everything for me, while I'm on my side just doing everything, and it was fantastic. I'm so happy with how it worked. But yeah, we'll get into how that looks for me.
Yeah, in all fairness, your biggest issues were not game related in the
They weren't
beginning.
game related. They weren't
And
game related.
you and Nick had very similar issues, whereas I jumped right in 30 minutes later.
Yeah. So,
yeah, that issue.
Yeah. We have that issue too that we can get into.
Yeah, we're about to get into bugs. So, for context, Andrew mentioned what's called a 3070. That is a current generation graphics card from NVIDIA. It is equivalent to the card Ed has,
Slightly
but
better
for
than mine.
half the price, and it also runs better in general. And
he just shits on Ed's card, just straight up.
Yeah,
No,
basically.
it doesn't. This game's got me convinced it doesn't.
So, all right. So, in context, now I'm running a i9 9900K. So that's 2
Nice.
years old. I think I have 12 cores or 16 cores. I don't remember. I have 64 gigs of RAM. For no reason other than I wanted to fill all my RAM slots with RGB RAM.
Yes.
True gamer.
And I have a 2080 Super, which was mentioned earlier.
Mhm.
This is lead. I am in Act 2. I am 25 hours in. I have spent the last day or so just doing mostly side quest. Because for some reason, every once in a while, the difficulty just spikes.
Oh.
And I will just get my ass handed to me. And I don't understand how. And we'll talk about my playstyle and why it's a problem and why I'm probably causing my issues myself. But yeah, I'm in Act 2. I'm starting to have to do some of the main quests because the only side quests available to me are too difficult. So, like, in the map, in the game, for context, it gives you, like, a rating for every activity. It's like damage danger level.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All the main quests say moderate now, and all the side quests say very hard or very dangerous. So I'm having to go do the main quest just to level myself up, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Now, as far as bugs go, I can't use RTX at all. At all.
What
It will
happens when
crash
you-
every time.
No kidding.
And I realized I had the same problem with Control.
Oh.
Ooh.
I forgot about that. I was always because for context on that, Control is a game that came out last year by I don't remember what studio.
Sledgehammer, isn't it?
No. They make Call of Duty.
No, it's the guys who did Max Payne.
Alan Wake.
Alan Wake.
That's the same guys who did
Oh,
Max
is it?
Payne.
I thought that was Rockstar. Oh, that's right. Yeah, so they made a game really good. I highly recommend it. But whenever you 505, yeah,
505. That's what.
Remedy's the developer.
Yeah,
505 is the publisher.
Yeah.
So whenever you launch that game, it tells you DirectX 11, which is an older graphic standard, and DirectX 12 or 13, which is the current one that has ray tracing. If I choose 12, it crashes every time. If I choose 11, it works perfectly. So I wanted to obviously show our viewers a little bit of the game, which we're showing right now if you're not watching. This is literally the first 2 hours, so nothing spoilery at all. But so in a graphics, for the people that don't know graphics cards and why we're talking about don't buy the console version. So in our graphics cards, or majority of our graphics cards, there's 8 gigabytes of what's called video RAM. And why we're talking about.
Oops.
I heard myself. I was like, "Ugh, that voice." There's 8 gigabytes of RAM in our cards. So to run a program like OBS, which is what we use to stream to the viewers and record and do all that, it doesn't take much power. It takes like 1% of your CPU and like a little bit of your GPU. Running that and Cyberpunk at the same time was killing my computer.
Jeez.
I
can only imagine.
I left MSI Afterburner up, which is a graphics card overclocking and management tool. And my graphics card kept creeping up towards 90 degrees Celsius. I was like, no, I can't let that happen. So eventually I gave up on streaming it. And I turned off RTX, and the game has worked perfectly. No frame rate dips since. So, but I have like most things on like high and ultra. So I'm now convinced that my graphics card is somehow busted because it can't do RTX at all.
That sucks.
In any game, which is fine because the company I bought it from doesn't sell protection plans on graphics cards anymore. But whenever I bought mine, they were still around. So I'm just gonna wait for a 30 series to show up.
I was gonna say, do they at least have a warranty? Because like I know my Founders Edition has like a 3-year.
It definitely is under even manufacturer warranty at this point.
Okay.
But I'm not even gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna wait for a 30 series to show up and go cash in that GSP and move on with my life. Considering the cards that we bought, my card was like $800.
Mm-hmm.
How much was your 3070, Andrew? Which is more powerful than this card?
It's about 500.
Yeah, it's so much cheaper. It's not, not fair. It's just not fair.
You know what, Andrew? Crack yours in half and then let's spread it around between everybody.
So again, for context, this is what we're telling y'all. If you haven't purchased the game yet and you're planning on buying it for console, please at least be the Xbox Series X or the PS5. And even then, it's not going to look too good or run that well, considering my computer all in is $3,000.
I've seen people on the new
I've seen the
consoles.
PS5 version run okay.
They do about 1440 with 60.
Is it consistent though? Like
I don't know if it's consistent.
There are some fights that I get in where I can tell that even like it's dipping a little bit on my computer. I'm just like, oh, that's not great. So bugs is what we're about to talk about. So I've had those bugs. I have the thing where V appears over the car a lot.
Yeah.
Like while you're driving, he appears half naked with his ass hanging out, but he has a shirt on as he's driving.
Nice.
I've had random times where characters just pop in randomly. I have a lot of walking through doors, like in fights. Like they'll pop behind a door and I can't kill them. And if I can't access that door, I'm fucked.
Yep.
So I just have to just like stand back far enough to where they have to advance on me. And this is where my play style comes into play. I decided to just do mostly melee weapons.
Oh,
I am
making it tough.
I am a knife master. I have a single blade that I just walk around and slash people all fucking day.
Have you been specking into Cold-Blooded?
No, I haven't at all. I don't know why. I was trying to build out the tree in fucking in the melee weapon in the blades thing, but I ain't got enough level.
Oh yeah, you gotta have some synergy with that. Also,
yeah,
the cold-blooded stuff. It would really help out.
I'm working on that. I have some. I usually carry I carry the knife, and then I carry usually a smart pistol, and then like a shotgun. That's usually what I'm running my 3 weapons. I'm loving the game though, so we'll continue. What bugs have y'all been experiencing?
Do you want me to go last again, or should I just go ahead and get it out of the way?
Go ahead and get it out of the way.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So first off, I bought off of GOG because 100% of it went back to CD Projekt Red. Right. That was the whole big pitch.
That is Good Old Games now. It used to be called Good Old Games. Now it's just called GOG.
Yes.
It's owned by CD Projekt Red now. It used to just be like the purveyor of cheap old games, but now CD Projekt Red owns it.
Yeah. So I was like, let's give one up to the developers. I've heard about all the craziness I had to go through just developing, and then can only imagine what the crunch was like. So I preloaded on that Monday, the week it came out. And that was like a pretty hefty 50 gig preload, I believe.
Yep.
And so on Thursday, the day of release at 6 p.m. Our time, we were supposed to be able to download the rest of it to allow us to play it. Well, holy crap.
I remember our Slack thread.
Did it not go past 56 gigs, 56% of the download? It would not, no matter what I did. And I feel like if I had just been a little more patient with it, had I not been looking forward to playing the game all day at work, I could have been more patient with it and just let it run. But like people were saying hours, it would go up to like, another couple percent, and that's it. So I literally uninstalled my code and then reinstalled it and it was able to play by like 10 o'clock that night. And so when I played, it was just a mess. I could not even get a consistent 30 frames in the actual game. And again, you heard what I just was using for my computer, I didn't figure out why. I would play with all the settings. I'd go from, I wasn't expecting to play in 4K, so I went, I kept it in 1440 2K, and then occasionally I would try 1080 just to see, and there was just no way I could play the game with RTX on and expect to get 30 frames or even 60 frames, and I was getting ready to just say, screw it, I'm just not going to play it. Because even when the hotfix came out, that was another time when I had to uninstall everything and then reinstall everything just to play. Because I don't know what the downloader is like on GOG, but I imagine with everybody trying to download at the same time, it just makes it a nightmare. And so, like I said to Todd earlier, but I don't know if I said on the stream. I don't feel like I did, but Ed and Nick saved my game for me. They both got on and they troubleshooted everything. There's videos out there right now that Nick showed that like literally the guy goes through what every single setting in the game does. So what you could probably turn on, what you could turn off, what you could probably have like a lower medium setting, and oh my gosh, does it help? Like for now, I'm currently running at 1440, 60 frames consistently. No issues whatsoever. I think the lowest I've ever seen it dip is about 40 frames. And that was transitioning into a cutscene where I talked to somebody. So,
yeah, like your system was just pissing me off because like, again, you have the better graphics card. So I was like, how am I playing this better than you?
I couldn't understand.
How's this being problematic?
Yeah. And then we hear about the AMD thing, and it's like, oh, okay, that's the red herring.
Which I have yet to do. I have yet to get into the hex coding and everything. I watched the videos. I feel like I'm a little more prepared to do it. I haven't done it yet, just because I know I have to make a copy of the file for the game, and I'm not very proficient with PC. Like this whole year has been my whole like crash course into how to build and how to work it kind of thing. So thank you 2020 for that.
Yay, 2020.
Always giving.
But in some way, we'll get you something. But yeah, that has been for me, considering that I also had work and like I work stupid early hours, I would get home, play at about maybe 9 o'clock, maybe 10, and then like I'd do a couple of things and have to go to bed, and then I would just spend the next 11 hours of my day just going, I just want to play the game, I just want to play the game, I just want to play the game. And so then like everybody I speak with at work is now asking me, oh, how's it look, how's it running? And I'm like, oh, I hate it so much. But
I can't wait to get home and play it.
Exactly. I was so mad. I said I was on the cusp of just saying, screw it, I'll wait for you guys to fix it. Like I was starting to look into like EA Play and what they had.
Oh my god,
coming out for PC, and I'm just like, just let me play a fucking game that works. So, but like I said, the game's fixed. I love it now. I have mixed feelings about it. My bugs are there. I've had so many stupid things with like the cars, like my car in particular,
popping in
underneath. Yeah, popping in and being like underneath a tractor trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I've had my car hit me.
Your own car?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've never had that happen.
Pop.
I mostly use the motorcycle now, though, so that might be a factor.
No, I had the bike hit me and run me over too.
What?
Yes, motorcycle as well. Motorcycle as well. I've had that. I've had, let's see, The one that I've had that's been real game breaking was in a mission where you have kind of a boss fight when you're trying to escape that little factory area. I'm trying not to say too much, but say enough. There's a little bit of a boss fight kind of thing, and Jackie ran in and started fighting the boss, and I was still looting stuff, and I turn around and the door's closed.
Oh, now you're stuck.
Jackie yelling. Yeah, and I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I don't know where it's saved, so
yeah, I always do a shit ton of manual saves. In games like this, I have manual saves all over the place.
Well, now that I know that quick save is a thing, I'm just doing that repeatedly.
Wait, there's a quick save?
Oh, I just learned about this too.
Guys, really?
Yeah.
I literally been going to the menu, manually putting in the save.
Going to the menu.
From the menu, you can hit a button and it'll quick save for you.
Yes.
Shit.
It's
Also,
right
are you playing
right?
Are you playing on mouse and key?
So I'm doing the weirdest thing ever. I am playing mouse and keyboard until I drive. If I have to drive, I'm picking up the controller.
Wait, changing the camera angle really helps with driving, by the way.
Oh, I know. Oh, okay.
All right, just making sure. All right.
I'm still like, nope, because I'm not used to driving with the mouse and keyboard yet.
Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah, it is terrible. So I will pick up the controller, let the battery on that die, and then go back to mouse and keyboard.
I'm using my Xbox One Elite controller. I'm like, I'm not even worried about it. Since I'm using blades, aim doesn't really matter that much.
That makes sense. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's why, like for me, aiming, because I am using guns. I'm doing the gunplay, and so the mouse and keyboard precision helps a lot. But what other bugs have I had? Oh, I know, like when my fiance was playing, she did an early Nomad run, and she was just driving down the dirt road, and there was a guy that was literally sitting in the air in the middle of the street. And so she was trying to avoid it, and this is all on my rig too. So she was trying to avoid it, and then the game like froze, and then next thing you know, the car is hitting that guy. And so all the people of the town are set off into combat, and she's just getting tore up by bullets. Not
a bug, it's a feature.
Yeah, right.
I was gonna say it's not a bug; it's just cyberware.
The textures on cars are always really bad. And when she was playing and doing the escape from after, doing the first mission,
mm-hmm.
With the Nomad, where or the one where you just got to get to the border, right? So she was having texture issues, and the van that's shooting at her never loaded.
Nice.
So you never saw the doors open and people shoot at her. You never saw any of that stuff. So she's just shooting at the van, like she's just shooting at a van, and you're seeing like little headshot things pop up, critical, and we're like, what? So bugs are there. They're not, for the most part, they're not game breaking. I have learned from Critical on YouTube. I watched some of his videos, and he got me into this thing of, if you're seeing any problems, save your game, load that save, and then just keep playing, because that's really all you can do.
Yeah, and that's what I worry about, because I've played some Bethesda games where if you catch a bug at the wrong time, your entire save file is fucked.
That's where I'm kind of like, man, I don't want it to happen, but yeah.
I'm expecting it to happen at some point. And that might be the point of no return for me, where I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm just done. Though, after playing a while, I did want to do a different life story.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Which story are you?
I'm doing Street Kid.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I really want to do a Corpo run.
I'm doing a Corpo run right now.
Oh, okay.
So what is your questions about Corpo?
Oh, I have no questions. I just think it's a different angle, considering all the people that you're meeting in the first act.
I see.
I want to see how they treat you differently.
I see.
Well, yeah, because I'm going to do the same thing, where I'm going to finish out the game as my character, Street Kid, but then up to a certain point, the life path it's just the beginning of the story. That's going to be the big major difference. After that, as Ed told me, it's just a few choices that, like in dialogue options, that you can make how your life path really influences it. So I just want to like do the beginning and maybe a few missions after that of the different faction or the different life paths. So Corpo and Nomad, start those and then play a little bit of a different play style. Like I want to do like all melee on one of them or
Woo!
all sniper or something.
Woo! Some of the missions are very
Gonna be
difficult
tough.
as a melee only person.
Oh no, I'm playing the game. I know that.
Oh, fucking snipers! The rare time that you get a sniper enemy, I'm like, you're up like 5 flights of stairs. If I don't get you fast enough, I'm dead.
I was gonna say, how are you gonna melee him?
Right?
Well,
There is the
I can
throwing
throw
knife
knives.
thing, but you lose it. I can't find the knife after I throw it.
No,
Yep,
it just despawns.
So
and
I didn't know
I got that. And then Endrew was telling me about getting that, and I was like, okay, but listen to this first before you pick that option.
Yeah. He told me all that, and I was like, wow, I am not gonna spec into that now.
Yeah, so I had the same issue. So what happened is, like I said, I'm mostly a Bela user, so I have a knife that does like 1,000 damage, like 1,000 DPS.
Wow.
And I was sneaking around doing some fucking mission, which, by the way, I hate stealth a lot of the times, but sometimes it's fucking necessary. And I saw one enemy that I need to get rid of, and I constantly have like 6 perk points just ready to go, just in case. And I was like, so I was looking through all the options, and they're like, you can throw a knife. I'm like, oh, okay. I thought it was going to be like a consumable knife, like
Mm-hmm.
fucking Naruto kunai, just extras that you have. No, I threw my 1,000 DPS knife, and then it went into a wall and disappeared forever. And I was like, no, I reloaded my save before I picked up that perk. I was like, nope, not doing that anymore.
No, I live with that, and I've never used it after I found out. Yeah, you can't retrieve the knife.
I feel like I would accidentally throw it. So that's why I was glad I had that save before I chose that perk.
That's smart.
So that was also the last time I used a knife. But I do have like a few like spec in melee, but just for a pipe wrench so I can be a vigilante in Night City.
fucking wrenches and fucking pipes. And then you just every once in a while run into a dude with the fucking katana. You're like, oh, all right, cool. You have a fucking samurai sword. Now I gotta fight you. All right, cool.
With this wrench. Oh man.
All right, Nick, how's your experience going with the bugs and?
Okay, so I also got my game off of GOG,
Okay.
and I have a slightly different experience than Endrew, but we both had problems. So one of the main things is the difference between me and Endrew is that he has decent internet speeds and such, but he was worried about the data caps, while I have unlimited internet, but I have very slow internet. So the main thing was that we both preloaded, and when I preloaded my game, but when it came to game day, it started doing another 50 gig download, and I thought, all right, that's fine. But I don't know if it was, well, I do know now, it was a launcher. Right. It would just get stuck at 96%, and it would just not go into pass. It kept saying fail to download.
That's hurtful.
Yeah, and I kept restarting it. I even uninstalled what I had for Cyberpunk, re-downloaded it, still kept getting stuck. And after, I think about a day or so, I went online and people were saying, oh, you have to uninstall the launcher and then reinstall the launcher, and then it works. And it did work. But even before then, it was getting stuck at 96%. But I just said, all right, fuck it. Let's just see if it does anything. And the game started up. So I don't know if At the first couple of days, I was playing it while it was in its day one patch state, but I didn't have as many game breaking bugs or like any of the really weird glitches that people were seeing. T-posing figures,
I get that
people
every once in
hanging
a
with
while.
their dick out. Yeah, I wasn't getting much of that. I was getting Jackie walking through walls
Yep.
and a few enemies that were standing at a door. You can see their arms, but you can't see their bodies. So I had a few of those, but my main issue with bugs right now is there are two things that come to mind. So around the world, like any open world game, you see lootable objects that you can pick up, and then they have little icons holding over them, so you can know they're lootable objects. About, I want to say 25% of the time, I can go up to something, it says you can pick it up, doesn't give me any option to pick it up. Like I will do a dance over these items. I'll get on top of it, jump on a counter, start crouching down, seeing if it's a specific angle I can be. And to these NPCs, I just look like a madman. But I still can't pick anything up, so I'm like, all right, that's fine. And there was one time where it really pissed me off is because it was a legendary like item that I should have been able to pick up. Couldn't. Then another one was it's part of the story, but it's not really, it's an effect that you get on your character where you start seeing things, and it's supposed to be temporary. Like it's supposed to only last temporarily, the screen effect that you get. But the problem was it never stopped until I like close the game and reload it. And I didn't think it was a bug at the time because I thought it was just part of the story. So the effect started, and it's happened before. It started, then stopped, started, then stopped. But this time it started and it didn't stop. And I thought, well, I'm still in a story mission. Maybe it's just part of that. Nope, it was a bug.
Oh, fuck.
So
That's so annoying.
it's hard when it's a bug that you don't think it's a bug. You think it's a feature, and that's how you know Todd Howard's been incepting your dreams.
I keep doing that. If I have something, I'm like, ugh, this game. And then
Curse you,
bugs.
Todd Howard. Oh, wait, never mind.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I can think of is with my car is that sometimes when I'm calling it, and I know that cars, they don't just come out of nowhere. You can't be inside, call your car, and it shows up at the bar counter. But if I'm by a street, it will take the weirdest route.
They take very odd paths to get to you, and it kind of entertains me every time, though.
Oh no!
I watch the number like increase and then decrease and then increase and then decrease.
But I can see it come. Like I'm standing by a street, open roads to my left and to my right, and it decides to come in through an alleyway from behind me. And the problem is that there's dumpsters and air conditioning ducts in the alleyways, but it will drive straight through them. And the way the collision detection is that by the time the car gets to me, it's in complete shambles and half on fire. I mean, it's still drivable. So I will get in that bitch and get to my destination, but it's like it didn't need to come to me this way. And I always forgave it because I know that CD Projekt Red made this game, and when I was playing Witcher and I called Roach, he would show up on the top of a house, and I was like, all right, gotta get to him.
All right, Ed, what you got?
I mean, let's see. In the very beginning, yeah, Jackie did go through a door that I could then not open, even though I was supposed to be able to walk through it.
Lord.
Yeah, so that had to get a reload of the game. At the end of Act 1, when you're escaping the last mission of Act 1, my game just decided to crash.
Oh, shit.
No.
Yeah. So that was fun. I thankfully it auto-saved it right near the end of that. Yeah. So all I had to do was get in the car and then leave. Let me see what else. A couple of times I showed up as a Ken doll.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like no clothing at all, no hog at all.
Poor guy.
He's a eunuch.
Yeah.
Was that an option in the game?
I think you could make it to where it was just
Kendall?
smooth down there.
Yep.
Yep.
Come on, G.I. Joe at least.
No, Kendall's funnier now.
Yeah. Other than that, yeah, T-pose has happened.
They're super fun.
But the funny thing is, like, it doesn't really happen often. I've only seen 2 NPCs show up as a T, and then they just immediately start doing whatever they're supposed to be doing.
I see.
Yeah, that happened once to me too.
I
Only
see the
once.
same model do it over and over again. It's the same exact model every time, and they're never enemies. They're usually just fucking bystanders.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I didn't realize how often I was going to see the same model walking the street. I was like, oh, that's the groupie. That's the groupie. That's the groupie.
So
The
what?
exact same outfit, cybernetics, everything.
What I've
What a
noticed,
commentary on our culture.
what I've noticed though is like depending on which section of the city that you're in, you're gonna see a lot of the same models,
Yeah.
but like each section has different models.
It does. Yeah, it definitely does.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty in depth. But what else? Yeah, flying around with no motorcycle, like, and you know, NPCs flying around with no motorcycle or car. That's happened a couple of times. Nothing really game breaking except that one crash. Haven't really had a problem with doors. Oh, there was this one thing where I was doing a hack, and I guess the game didn't realize that it was on the other side of a wall. So I wound up going through the wall to finish the hack.
Interesting.
Oh, it's one of those speed runs.
Yeah, and then, but like, thankfully there was a door there that I could rip open and get out. So
Let me out.
yeah, but I'm trying to think. Oh, this one last thing that I can think of today. For some reason, the game decided, like, I had to close out of it for a minute just to, you know, go take care of something, and Steam said it was still running. So I had to go into Task Manager, stop it from there, stop Steam altogether, relaunch it, and then I come back and it's like, it still thinks that it has an instance running, so my frames were at like 35.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, so your in-game time is a little skewed.
Yeah, don't trust it anymore.
Yeah. So yeah, I restarted the PC and then everything started working again. But like, there's little things here and there that I just overlook because I'm enjoying what the game is offering right now. So it's not really like bothering me so much, like Nick's thing where you can't pick up the items that are there, even though they say that you can pick them up.
it's so difficult to pick up items in general in this game.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
It's so weird.
I didn't
Yeah.
think that would be a thing because I thought the guns would stick to the person,
Mhm.
but they don't.
Yeah.
They go flying off. But if
And
somebody happens to be laying over it, can't get to it,
Yeah, you gotta
You
like
gotta
look
go
at
between
his
their
armpit.
legs, and then
I just cut off their leg. I'm just like, yeah,
Yeah.
knife.
And then the one thing that I noticed yesterday was, like, if I'm in a car with an NPC, like on a way to a mission or something, they just, because of however the game does its lighting, I think it may be something in the settings or something, they just turn completely black.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like-
right, you were talking about this.
Yeah, like Mr. Popo and Dragon Ball black.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then, like,
Interesting.
and it's not until we get out of the car or if there's like a very bright lit area that they start getting some of their complexion back.
Huh.
But it is just
That reminds me of
black.
like Minecraft, where like sometimes the shadows render weird and you have to get really close to it and it fixes it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the same shit.
But I did remember 2 other like bugs that have happened to me. Going like it's in the menus. It's when you try to select something or disassemble something, and then the item would just stay there. And
Oh.
yeah, so not game breaking or anything, and it's easily overlooked by me getting out of it, getting out of the menu, going right back into it, and then it's just gone. But it just throws up.
Yeah, I have a similar bug to that. Like whenever you
So do
pick
I.
up a new item, like on the ground, you know how it pops up that little box? It's like new item.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sometimes it just stays there
Yeah,
forever.
I have that happen with like different tutorial menus. If it's like, hey, this is what this item is, you can pick up. Like it was like a bottle of vodka, and it was telling me like all the stats and everything it would do. I couldn't get that to go away, and it happened when I meet Johnny Silverhand. So I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, mine was I couldn't put anything in the stash of my vehicle.
I didn't even know. I didn't. We're going to talk about things that I didn't know existed in this game in a second. One of them being stashes in the fucking vehicle. I had no idea.
Oh yeah,
No clue. Until
Yeah.
one day I accidentally knocked over my bike, and whenever I was trying to get back on it, it said open stash. I was like, what the fuck is this? Oh my
It's a
god.
portable closet, man.
This game.
Yeah. Oh, and
The
I
prison
learned
bucket.
I learned something today.
I was very over encumbered a lot.
I got me a fancy freaking car that I was able to just procure at a certain location.
Is it the Batmobile looking car?
Yeah.
I haven't got it
Send
yet.
me those deets.
Is
Send
it-
me those deets.
Is it? Do you have to be a certain point in the game to get it? Because I went out to that general location, and I think I got a message that said it's not ready for you yet, or some shit.
Okay, maybe because like I was coming back to the city after doing a mission out in the Badlands, and
Okay.
I happened to just cross paths of where that car was located, and I just
It's like
it
in a
was like
storage container, right?
yeah, and then it was like okay, let me get in. Oh, it's mine now. Great.
I think I have the map location saved on my phone, but it wasn't there whenever I went out and looked. So I was
Okay,
like, oh.
so maybe you do have to do that mission then for it to like take you by. But yeah, as soon as I got in the car and I started hitting the engine, this one can go to 200 miles per hour.
Oh,
My mini map was having problems like
keeping up. That's funny.
Also, even though this game is set in Night City, which is in America, I'm pretty sure they use kilometers because
They do.
Yeah.
They use
Like,
meter,
I have
they use
a-
the metric system all over.
a
Except-
shit car.
Except
And-
the cars.
Nope. The cars, I'm pretty sure, also use the metric system because I have a shit car that's saying that it's going up to 100. So I'm guessing this is
Miles
actually
per
60
hour, not
miles per hour.
kilometers.
No, but like the actual odometer say like or speedometer say MPH on there.
Huh.
Huh.
That's weird.
Go into
This is
first person
supposed
and
to
look at it.
be like I can't tell exactly where it's supposed to be because they reference people coming from California.
Oh,
And
no.
then-
This, Night City is pretty much LA.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
in
is it?
California.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's in America. It's in California.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then at one point they mentioned Brazil. I'm like, oh, that's weird and random. So you haven't really had that many crazy things. I gotta look for that car, by the way. I'm gonna check it tonight. And then finally, we're just gonna talk about impressions overall, things we missed. Like I mentioned, the stash earlier. Something else that I haven't touched at all. I haven't crafted anything. The entire game. Have not crafted a single thing, and I kind of forgot it was there.
You really should.
Well, you
Mm,
should
There's not-
deconstruct things.
Yeah, but do you get like blueprints or something? Whenever
You
do-
Yeah.
can.
You have to
Yeah.
go to a store and you can buy blueprints.
because
Yeah,
I
like
just
the-
want
And
a
also-
better. I just want a better knife.
Well, you can also find like those jobs that are like the NCPD jobs that just pop up randomly.
Right.
They like I've gotten I think 3 blueprints from those jobs alone.
I patrol like Batman all the time. I'm just driving around like waiting for that shield to appear, go beat up some thugs, and every once in a while I go run into thugs that are way too strong for you.
Yeah.
Get your ass handed to you.
I will say that the crafting is like free XP though. Because you do get points for it.
Oh, you get
Yeah, you even get points for deconstructing. Goes to your crafting.
Yep.
Yeah.
huh.
So it is a little worth it.
But
Alright,
even
I'll
if you're
do
not
that.
crafting something like from scratch, let's say crafting a gun out of a blueprint, it's worth it to upgrade your guns.
Yeah.
Your guns and your
Wait, hold on.
melee.
Yeah.
You can upgrade your stuff.
So that's what I was gonna get into.
In the crafting menu.
Is this gonna be like in Witcher,
What?
where like your
I had no
starting
idea.
stuff, your starting stuff can get like maxed out to like the best weapons.
Is that why super early in the game they give you like a yellow gun?
Okay,
Do
so
they expect you to upgrade that shit forever?
yeah, and you can actually upgrade that shit.
Shit, I had no idea. I just kept buying new shit.
So if you ever come across an iconic gun, always hold on to it. Don't deconstruct it because you won't come across it again.
Whoops.
Yeah,
buddy.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
So the first gun that you get that's iconic is the
The
Dying
one
Knight.
from Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I sold that a long time ago.
Whoops.
yeah, so that one you can keep upgrading it, and any gun really you can keep upgrading it. But the iconic stuff you can get the blueprints, and it works just like The Witcher, where you can keep
I
upgrading
never
it.
played it, by the way.
Oh.
I never played The Witcher. I own it.
well-
I never played it.
You should.
Indra will know what I'm talking
After
about.
this,
but,
after this game, I'm definitely gonna play The Witcher.
Nice.
But if you do the blueprint for the iconic guns, it basically uses the old gun. You add stuff to it to make it even stronger. But as long as your crafting level keeps growing with you, which you also have to keep speccing into intelligence if you want to keep it going higher, you can basically use your starting weapon all the way to the end of the game, and it will stay.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. That's why
Yeah,
I
so
found a
this is-
revolver that was like way overpowered, but in my level. And so I've been using that, but then as I was getting to higher level stuff, it was getting underpowered, but I started crafting into it, and now it's just stuck with me for a while until something else that I shouldn't be able to use, I'm able to use.
I gotta ask. I don't fully understand the street cred system.
Well,
Is it just
you're
the more
known in
street cred you
Night
get?
City.
Does it just unlock extra
Pretty much.
things
Yeah.
to buy?
Yep.
Yeah.
Buy and use certain
Because
things.
I'm just doing a bunch of those Regina, whatever her last name is, missions.
Mhm.
My street
Mhm.
cred's going through the roof. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know what this does, but it's
So,
cool to have.
so like with the street cred, I think at level 20, that's when you can start getting the different arms.
Oh, I'm
so-
past that.
Oh, okay. So
So
you
like
should,
gorilla arms and mantis arms.
yeah.
Mhm.
So you should be able to like get any one of those 4 sets of arms.
Yeah,
The
the
gorilla
only thing I've
arms would be
seen
nice
is
for the beat the
cybernetics.
block. Or
Eh,
beat
you
the
would
brat.
think.
I got my ass whooped every time.
Yeah.
Them fucking twins. It's not fair.
See, they were easy for me.
Yeah,
The first time I beat them the first time, no problem. Then every time after, and I fucked up a save because I jumped off the roof accidentally and died. So it didn't save my progress yet. So I had to refight them, and I got my ass whooped so many
See,
times.
For me, like having just come off of Ghost of Tsushima, like countering at the right time is not a problem right now.
Ugh.
It's just the other fights. God, those people are so overpowered.
Yeah, I don't remember what his name is, but also one of the fights I think is glitched, and I can't start it.
Oh, no.
The Arroyo fight. I don't know if y'all have done that one.
I have not.
Arroyo, is that the where is that?
Is that the one with the pregnant girlfriend?
Oh,
Okay.
Well, I know the pregnant girlfriend one you're talking about, and I got into that fight and got my ass completely handed to me because I was doing no damage to it, and every hit from him was like a truck.
Yep.
I got in a fight with some dude that kept Roman Reigns Superman punching me, and it was really pissing me off. So I gave up, and I was like, "I hate you, Roman Reigns."
Yeah, I was telling Nick about that fight, and the one that you were just talking about. And I'm like, oh yeah, remember Wesker from Resident Evil?
Oh,
That's
him. Oh shit! All right.
Oh yeah, that is him.
Oh, God. But overall, I really like the game. It's super fun. I like I said, I'm like 25 hours in. I feel like there's way too many things to do if I really wanted to. So I've just been like I said, I've just been driving around doing all the NCPD missions that I see.
Driving is fun.
Once you get in, whenever you get into certain areas, all of a sudden people start calling you like, "Hey, I got this mission."
Oh yeah.
And I was like, "All right, well, since that means you're close to it, which is nice, instead of having to go." It really makes kilometers seem much longer than it actually is. Whenever they're like, it's a kilometer away, it takes you a good 4 or 5 minutes to drive that. Just letting you know. It's like in real life. And I didn't realize how sprawling the map was. I think Nick said it or something. I hit the title screen at 5 hours. So, like, 5 hours into the game, I finally saw the word Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, the fuck?
Yep.
And then Nick, I think, went, oh, yeah, you've had a small portion of the map the entire time. I was like, wait, there's more to the map? And then, And then Act 2 starts.
And then it just opens.
Everything is available. And I'm like,
because
they
locked down. Much. They locked down that one area.
You're like in Japantown or something.
It's called Watson.
Watson, yeah, Watson. And then there's Japantown. And then there's all these other fucking areas.
Yeah.
Like, this is a very sprawling map. And sometimes those fast travel stations are not close enough.
I'm avoiding fast travel as much as I can because it's just nice to drive through that city because of like how it looks. Like the world itself is just mesmerizing to look at.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't use my pipe wrench if I'm fast traveling on a bunch of like ne'er-do-wells messing up stuff in my city.
My city.
Yeah. Like there's a couple of races that you'll encounter later on.
I haven't done those yet. If you're talking about the ones from the Afterlife thing.
Yeah, and like there's just where the races take place, you're like, I've never been here. I didn't even know this was here.
Yeah. Whenever I first saw the thing for the Batman car that we alluded to earlier, I was like, I haven't been out that far yet. I don't know where I'm going. And you don't, and it's like every other game, as it should be. You don't unlock the fast travel stations until you pass right by them. So I was like, oh, I guess I gotta trek my way out into the fucking nowhere. And it took a nice haul because I'm on a motorcycle and I keep hitting every little piece of debris. But my God, it's so good. And I lost my entire day today playing. Like, I knew we were gonna do this podcast today, so I was like, I want to get a little bit farther in. Make sure no weird bugs have appeared that I'd never seen before. So I woke up at 9 something. I pretty much played all day.
I was playing 10 minutes before I got onto this.
Yeah, I exited the game. I set an alarm on my phone because I was like, I want to do this podcast a little bit more structured. So I was like, I'm going to set an alarm for 7:30, knowing we had to be alive at 8 because of our social media manager. Thanks, Jim. So I was like, I'm going to write down a quick rundown on all this shit. But I've had interest in very little games other than this right now. It's like this and Rainbow Six. And Rainbow Six is only whenever other people are on. I assume we're all probably going to put in 100+ hours on this.
Easily.
I don't even know if that will counter one full run.
So
you'll do the full life runs.
As a person who's almost 50 out, like I'm an hour shy away from 50, and I'll tell you one thing. Watson has been the main focus for the side jobs. So a lot of those Regina jobs, I've done maybe 2 in each other section.
Oh, okay.
For those fixers. So I've inadvertently only been focusing on one area just because that's where I've just been hanging out. But as soon as I go to the other ones, I start getting those phone calls, and I'm like, well, damn, I haven't even been here yet.
We're
for like story missions.
I'm gonna cut out something, or I might bring up a little spoiler at the end of the podcast. So if you're trying to remain completely spoiler free, just whenever you hear the outro music, just cut it off there. because there was one moment where I was legit like, oh my God, I need to discuss this with somebody. But nobody on the Rant On side of the podcast group was playing it. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. But does anybody have any like negatives of this game?
I mean, fucking fix your launcher, GOG. God.
Yeah.
First of all, GOG Galaxy has been broken for years.
Yeah.
That's why I bought it on Steam. Like Jim and Justin, I think, were talking about, oh, it's 100% to the devs. I'm like, that's great and all, but the fact is my collection, I have 300 plus games on Steam. I trust Steam for that day one patch that we were all waiting on way more than I do GOG. And I just don't want another launcher. Granted, I have the GOG launcher on my computer already, but because of the Witcher game of the year.
That was the main reason I didn't want to get it on GOG, was because I just do not want another launcher.
Right.
I'm tired of seeing them.
Yeah, but thing is, isn't on Steam when you start up CD Projekt,
it goes to GOG.
It goes to GOG?
No, it brings up their Project Red launcher.
Yeah, so if you launch in Steam, it then launches another launcher, but it's not GOG. And then you start the game, and it's fucking dumb, and it doesn't make sense, and it reminds me of what Rockstar did and why I hate GTA.
Because my roommate has it in Steam, and I saw him launch it, and it looks exactly like GOG.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it really does, and it's very annoying, but it's like a light version, basically.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, but, I was able to play it on day one, and every day since.
I was able to play it day one the same as you.
No, I was able to play it day one. I just didn't know if it was, the max at the time playable state. But
I got that
the reason
day one patch,
also got
that hotfix patch, no problem. Didn't have to re-download Steam.
I didn't have to do any of that either.
I know, Todd. You and me.
Actually, when I
was like, this is why Steam needs its cut. It works.
When Nick said to uninstall the launcher and reinstall it, I was like, fine, I'll do it.
That's hurtful.
Made it worse.
Yeah, that's a hurtful thing to tell somebody.
It went to 0 and it wouldn't go past 0.
If somebody told me to uninstall Steam to install one game, I'd be like, no, I'm asking for a refund right now.
Yeah.
That's too many games.
That's what they were saying. You should just ask for the refund. And I'm just like, man, I'm this far in, it's going to be hard.
You and your
the thing
bandwidth cap.
is when I uninstalled the launcher, it either shouldn't uninstall the game, but what I also did was move the game out of its location, then uninstalled it, then reinstalled and let it find the files again.
Which I didn't do, which I should have done. So,
I don't trust none of that shit.
Yeah,
but
I verified. That's at most is what I did. Is I verified.
Also, it's like I got the GOG not just because of the 100% goes to the dev, but because I knew that GOG was CD Projekt's baby, that any hot fix and patch that they would release would go to that first and then get pushed out to Steam.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
You thought, yeah.
Or you're gonna tell me what I thought? Yeah,
I was a true GOG patriot.
Oh man, yeah. No, that's the biggest thing. I mean, it's gonna be quite a mountain for anybody playing on a console. For them to just play onto somewhat of the same quality as we are. I'm just glad that I did finally get the RTX to work, which I feel like when they released their recommendations or
fancy lighting.
What bullshit.
Yeah, what a fucking lie that was, because I was supposed to do ray tracing on high with everything I have on my setup, and I cannot. It's not possible.
And that they know that it was fucked up because the game defaults you to something most computers can't run.
Yeah.
Like mine defaulted me to RTX Ultra.
Yep.
I was like, there's no way. And I automatically was about to turn everything down anyways. And then if I would have actually run it, I feel like my card would have set on fire.
That's NVIDIA, baby.
I mean, too bad there's not a Team Red option.
Yeah. Oh, there's AMD stuff on there.
They are available.
Yeah, they're not available. But
it's a paper launch, just like the NVIDIA cards. Except for yours.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like how I say that. Paper launch, except for Andrew actually has one. And then Nick told me, and one day texted me, he's like, hey, these are available. I ain't spending $1,200
No.
or however much it was.
Oh,
No.
it was 17.
That's
Yeah.
that's up there.
Oh,
Like,
it's
we want the best of the best, don't you?
Patreon.com. No, I'm just kidding. No.
Yeah, but then you could play Cyberpunk at 4K 30, Todd.
I did. What resolution are y'all playing it on?
1440.
1440.
1080
I'm on 1080. Okay. I'm on 1080 as well.
on a 4K OLED TV.
My main gaming display is a high refresh rate 1080 monitor. I did plug it into my 4K TV and run it. It ran fine. Granted, I had RTX off, and I feel like that's the only thing that's crippling these cards is RTX. And NVIDIA can talk about DLSS all they want.
No, you're pretty much on the money there, because I know whenever I was having all these issues, when I finally gave up on RTX, I could do 60 frames.
It runs so smooth.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, like, you need to have DLSS on to run this thing with ray tracing. Like,
You
I
have
turned
to-
it.
You have
I
to
turned
run
it off.
DLSS to run Minecraft and RTX.
Yeah, I turned it off, and holy
Your computer
shit.
died. You don't have
It
a
was-
computer anymore.
It was like 12 frames.
But every frame looked good, right?
No,
Every frame was like a picture of.
It was
like-
what Cyberpunk was meant to
You get
be.
so many minutes worth of that one frame to look at.
It was
It's
like-
being in an art museum and walking from one picture to the other.
You know how
It was
they
like-
always
it was
talk
like-
about that Ansel thing? That's what that is. It's just such a low frame rate. You get to admire everything.
It was like
Hey, look, there's
watching,
hey, in our video that we're showing, it's the car popping into another car. There it is.
Yay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, it just reminded me of like like those old movies or cartoons where they have that quote unquote cartoon or
Yep.
film in a circle,
Yep.
kind of like a carousel. Yeah, that's what it reminded me of. It was just like half
So
a
bad.
frame each time. Yeah.
I'm kind of glad I never got to experience it really well. I got maybe 2 minutes in, I think, with RTX on every time. I would consistently get past the character creator to right whenever you reset your nose in the very, very beginning.
Yeah.
And the second it turns and it starts getting the lights from the back of the bar, it'll crash every time. I was like, all right, I know that's RTX killing it, so I had to turn it off. Do we have any final thoughts on the game? Anything we hope we run into? Anything you've heard rumors about but you haven't run into yet?
What Easter eggs have you guys actually seen?
I missed Hideo Kojima, apparently.
So did I.
Yeah. So I
So did I.
saw.
He's in Act 1, right?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
in the hotel that you have to do your thing in.
No way.
Yeah, no, he's there. Like, I walked in there because, like, Jackie stops you and he's like, "Hey, there's a bar. You want to go in, or do you want to
Oh,
go to
that-
the room?"
Whenever you're like, go straight to the room so you can wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck. He was at the
So-
bar?
Yeah, so I went to the bar, and there was some dickhead at the bar that
No.
was talking, and I was like, I don't want to deal with this. Never mind. And so I just start walking around, and I hear some guy speaking perfect English.
So it's not Hideo Kojima. Got
yeah,
it.
yeah. So I'm looking at him, and I don't connect it. I don't go, oh, that's Kojima, because it even has his name's like Oshima or something like that. And I didn't think about it, but whenever it happened, I was just like, wait a minute, and so I had to look at it and
Wait
saw
a
a thing on
minute.
Reddit, and I was like, oh, that was Kojima. Oh, that's fun.
Whoops.
Yeah, I remember looking around. I did go to the bar, and I remember looking around, but he did not stick out to me, so I guess I just never registered it.
It's
So-
like, what he's talking about is kind of like douchey, and I was
Yeah,
like, all
that's
right.
what I've
I
heard.
wasn't listening to everything everybody's saying. I got too much time on my hands.
So
No.
this game is that particular mission, we'll call it, like ratcheted up the tension quite a bit. Like, I was very into it. That's why I was like, skip the talking at the bar. We're going to the hotel room and preparing. God damn it.
This is important.
I'm going to do this right. Turns out.
This
Yeah.
game puts you in that mindset.
It
on
really
a
does.
lot of things. Like, no, I don't want to talk to you. Like, there was this one thing
kind
where
of
it was,
focus.
yeah, there was this one mission where, like, I barge in, I start yelling at somebody, he starts talking, and I was like, no, fuck you. And I chose the option to punch him.
Yep.
I can't even focus on trying to sleep with Judy, and I hope that's an option.
Are you male or female?
Male.
Oh,
she's gay. That's right. No.
Oh, I will say this: whenever you take somebody to Pound Town, be sure to put your clothes back on your body.
Oh. So.
Because I got wrecked and I couldn't figure out why.
No spoilers.
My clothes came back on my body.
No spoilers, but in the game I've had sex once, and it's a forced one. Like you can't like work your way around it. It's not forced like rape, but like
it's part of the story.
It's part of the story.
No, I know what you're talking about, and no, I'm talking about the optional ones.
Oh, okay. Also, my favorite, I wanted to screenshot it and share it, but like her landing strip makes me laugh in that scene. I don't know if you noticed it, but I did.
Yeah.
Her landing strip is like almost at her belly button. I'm like, that's super high on you. All right, whatever. Moving on.
Later, we got to talk about something because
we got to talk about your grooming a little bit. Anything else?
There was another thing I wanted to talk about with glitches, and that's actually going to move into the thing that I like about Cyberpunk.
Oh, okay.
Is that whenever you're doing any kind of stealth in Cyberpunk, it gives me the same feeling as stealth in Payday.
Payday, yeah.
It really does.
It really does.
There are cones, there are indicators that you're about to get fucked up.
Mm-hmm. Like you can hide bodies and like how and because it's all first person and all you see is your gun.
Yep.
It gives me that idea, and that's why I do like doing the stealthing thing, even though I'm not really made for that. But one of the glitches that I keep coming across is you're just walking around randomly. Maybe you step on a piece of trash and it flings you across the room.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. That happens, and that will fuck up my stealth every time, throw me right into somebody's line of sight, and like,
I've seen videos of that.
I'm going to shoot you, guy.
or I don't know if you've seen it, but like the exploding trash cans.
Yep.
Yeah,
you just
I've seen those videos,
and then just blows up around you. But luckily, that doesn't set off sounds for some reason. So not a bug, a feature.
Yeah. Like
also,
I didn't think like. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, I was about to say, how does it not have the option to like quickly assassinate somebody? Like you have to grab and then kill.
Kill.
Oh yeah.
But like if I'm carrying a knife and I'm behind somebody,
I mean, maybe you want to hit him with the butt of the knife. You don't want to stab him.
No, I want to. I kill just about everybody. I don't give a fuck.
If you're carrying a knife, you should still get like a stealth bonus.
You do, and I can do that. But sometimes I want the theatrics of it. Like an Assassin's Creed style, like quick little scene.
You're gonna want to get that like assassin one where you can hidden dragon, the hidden dragon one.
I've seen the drop down one. I haven't done that one yet.
You get.
Oh well, fuck.
Because I kind of feel like that's the same way you had it in Skyrim, where if you try to use a knife in stealth, most of the times it's just you stab them, but then sometimes for whatever reason
it'll make a fancy cutscene. Yep. Also, if your power is too high, every time you do a strong melee attack, their heads just come off no matter what. It's like, all right. I hit you in the leg and your head popped off.
If you are doing any type of stealth, and let's say, like me, I have a revolver with the silencer on it. If you shoot their head and it explodes...
is that silent?
Well, it's completely silent. The problem is, I did this on one guy who was standing on a catwalk, I shot him. Nobody saw, so I grabbed the body and go. But then I see a dead body was found and reported. The bits of his body that flew off the railing,
they found
that's
the bits?
What they saw.
Wow.
So,
like, I'm actually impressed by that.
Oh, no, me too. Like, if you see, like, eyeball and part of somebody's skull on the ground, you're going to be curious.
Jim commented on our video. He's like, the girls in this game are thick with about 8 C's. I'm like, yeah. Too bad Judy doesn't like the men.
You get a consolation prize, which is probably a little better, actually.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I think this is what I wanted to talk about, but this is kind of a spoiler thing.
We're gonna say we can talk about a couple little spoilers after the actual main show ends. But do we have any other like final thoughts on the game so far?
I'd say like my favorite thing personally is how the dialogue trees work in this game, because
God, yes.
I know for me personally, when it comes to like a lot of choices and everything, I start to second guess myself a lot. And so I start sitting there looking at the screen, maybe going to my phone and seeing what options go, what happens. You know, like this one, I don't have that because I don't have the time to do that. Yeah. You know, you pretty much, it feels so fluid and nice. It's probably my favorite thing about the game.
And then, God forbid, every once in a while they throw in the actual timed response, like where if you don't say anything, you don't say anything, which I fucked up a couple times on that like before.
Paragraphs for your options,
right?
Yes. So I will say I'm not a fan of them doing the what are your options? Yes, no, and maybe, and you do yes, and it's like I believe it is affirmative in this, and it's like, why did you just say yes then? Just do that, you know? Right. I don't like that, but the sheer fact that everything just feels real smooth within the conversation of everything, and then I just have to live with what I say, you know, makes me feel a lot better about playing it.
Agreed.
Oh yeah, and those consequences do come back at you. Just letting you know.
I figured, because like I know, like when I was starting the Corpo run, you make so many small choices of just like who you're talking to and everything, and it's like, I don't know what it is, but sure, you know, do this thing with that guy. I don't care.
I unintentionally burnt some bridges apparently, and I was like, oh, I fucked up somewhere. I don't know what exactly I said, but I am no longer cool with this person. Like legit, you walk up to somebody that traditionally would probably give you a job. You say, hey, you got any jobs for me? And the person responds, not for you. Oof. I'm like, oh no.
I did that with a Ripper Doc.
Oh no.
Not a Ripper Doc.
Yep.
Fuck. This game is really good.
Yeah, overall, like story wise, narrative wise, it's freaking amazing. It looks great when you can make it look great.
Oh, yes, exactly.
But narrative-wise, I'd have to give it a 7 out of 10.
Really?
The only thing is because when I wanted to play this like a really in-depth RPG, very similar to how Outer Worlds, Fallout New Vegas, but then other games like I just had it in my head too. Deus Ex or Prey, like immersive sim, where depending on the stats that you pick is also give you different dialogue options. So if you had very low intelligence, you give like stupid ass answers to things.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I like how you named two of.
Whereas here, it's like you just can't answer it.
Yeah. I like how you named two games from the same publisher or the same dev. The first two,
because
I was like Obsidian.
Yeah, they did an RPG very well.
And then they made South Park, which was also really well.
Yeah.
But as far as the overarching story, I'm enjoying the hell out of it. It's just I wish I could have a little bit more in terms of the actual role playing, because you're talking about the dialogue options and whatever you do, you have to live with. So a lot of times in RPGs, I'm trying to pick an option where like, oh, okay, if I do this, it might get me another side quest, and hey, that's just more game.
Right.
But since I'm going to do multiple runs in this, I'm trying to actually make a character and, well, what would this person actually
what would
say
I do?
What's going to be the game?
Yeah.
Very rarely has it run into a choice that I wouldn't have personally said if I were this dude, which is really nice, and that really shows how much thought they put into their options. Every once in a while, you'll run into something like, clearly he should know how to do this, or clearly he should know this, or she, depending on who you're playing.
Yep.
Yeah.
I get it.
like anytime I get an option that has like the fucking the body, you know, the one with the fist,
Yep.
I'm like, yep, I'm gonna just threaten
every time,
you.
every
I'm gonna
time,
threaten you.
gonna punch the shit out of you.
If there's one that just speaks intelligence, it's like, yeah, I'm a meathead, but I know my shit.
Mhm.
I got the technical ability.
Yeah, no, dude, quick hacks. God, I didn't know. Like, I didn't plan on using that as much as I am, but holy crap, they are so nice once you get some good ones.
And so needed too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So many situations where if I didn't have it, I'd be boned.
yeah.
Like, there's been so many times where, like, I'll be in the middle of a firefight with somebody, and like, there's another person annoying me, and I'm just like, all right, you are going to be blind for right now. And
I've never used that move. I've never used that quick hack.
I use that one for like the stealthing options.
Yeah,
I need to. I just most of the time use a machine around it for distract because I assume it uses less RAM.
it does use less RAM too.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
well, it depends on like the angle that I need to go. So, like,
and for a
long
time, I didn't prioritize it. I just prioritized being big and buff and being able to use my blades better.
Mm-hmm.
So I had like 3 RAM slots or whatever the minimum was that you got from your first piece of hardware.
Yeah, you don't need all them fancy doodads.
I was like, I my precious RAM, I must use it to cut off this camera that keeps fucking me every time.
There's a perk you can do to kind of help you read.
I saw one where you get one every, I don't remember how it is, like every successful hack or some shit like that.
Yeah, there's a few. There's like one where if you affect somebody with a quick hack and you kill them while they're affected, you get like 1 back automatically.
Oh, yeah, I need to look.
And then that goes up to 3, I think.
Oh, it stacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think whenever I do my Corpo run, I'm going to look up a build guide and go from there. Because right now I'm just playing it how I want, and that's why I'm getting boned with my blades.
We all are.
Yeah, I'm just trying to play for fun. I saw a Venga with like min-maxing in it, and I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that.
I don't have time for min-maxing right now.
Yeah, I'm just playing it how I want to play it. Like it just so happens like the hacking portion I really didn't want to do as like the Nomad. I'm gonna do it with the Corporal, but then I'm like, well, shit. I guess I have to.
It's just way too fucking handy.
It really is.
It really is.
We got anything else before we do a little bit of spoilers?
No, I think that's pretty good.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
For those of you on the live stream, we're probably going to cut off this live stream just so we don't unintentionally spoil somebody randomly jumping in. If you want to hear a couple little spoiler discussions, we're going to play our outro music, and then we'll come right back and we'll talk about some things that have either been really cool or really weird, or we have questions about, and we're finally able to talk to each other about minor things. So if you're on the live stream, thank you for watching. Next week or this coming weekend, Retrospect should be recording. And then we'll probably skip the week after for Christmas.
Yeah.
So we'll probably be back first week of January with Rant On, which will be, because I'm including this, it'll be episode 50. So that's cool for us. Thank you everybody for watching, listening, and we'll see you later.
Bye.
See you.
We didn't call anybody a Choomba.
No Chumbas. Yeah.
Actually,
or Preen.
I called 2 people a Choomba at work.
Oh my god.
God.
Today. And has anything else like gone into like
no.
Become part of your vocabulary?
Or preem.
I use the word gonk and nobody like batting an eye.
That's really gonked of everyone.
Well, I don't have a job to say any
really
of this
gonk
to,
of you, man.
but I've been thinking, I'm like, man, I should start using Delta.
Delta.
Like, I'm gonna Delta out of here.
like because Jim's trying to help me get a gift for Kristen that I gotta pick up from Best Buy, right? And so I had to like send him money. So I'm like, hey, how do you want me to send these creds, Chumba?
Oh my god, he just doesn't understand.
He's like, what?
I don't get it. Welcome
Like,
to
how
this.
many Eddies you want?
How many Eddies?
Oh god, yeah.
Welcome to this minor spoiler territory. Andrew, you've played the least, right?
I've played the least, so that's where.
So
I'm
we got to
gonna
worry
get
about
into.
him.
Do I need to go ahead and bounce out then? Because
I'm not gonna go super crazy. I'm just gonna bring up one side quest that, or you're in Act 2 already.
I'm in
right?
Act 2. Yes.
Okay. I thought Keanu Reeves was just gonna be a cameo.
Nick and I had this discussion.
It's not just one side quest though.
Right. I assumed he was going to be one side quest and moved on. No.
Oh.
That it was really cool. And then also, have any of y'all done the taxi cab side quest?
Yes.
I just
All of them?
that.
All of
I
them.
did it. I did all of them.
You brought all
I
of them
have
back
not done
in?
All of them. Yeah.
I have completed that to its finale.
Okay, same.
Like, not just bringing them back in.
Damn it.
But
So,
I do know
two
about
of you
the
haven't done
GLaDOS
it.
one.
All right, that's what I was going to say.
Nick knows about.
I
it.
had no idea about that.
Yeah,
And then-
that one pissed me off.
All of a sudden, I was like, "This voice sounds really familiar," and
Yep.
I'm just following this fucking cab around, trying to fucking take it back home.
So was it until she brought up cake? Is that when
She's
you're like,
no,
oh my god,
no. She's like, we have to test you.
Yeah,
And I was
we
like,
can do
wait
that.
a minute, hold on. And then I heard the cake thing. I was like, oh fuck, it's GLaDOS. And then
I knew immediately. Like once I heard that voice,
I
was
didn't-
like, oh, you bitch!
I wasn't thinking about it.
Like I was like, CD Projekt Red, you clever little bitch.
You bitches.
It helped that like because Kristen and I we picked up Portal 2 recently from that last Steam sale,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
And so we were playing the multiplayer, and so,
Oh, so good.
her voice was in the back of my head still. So when I got there, I was like, oh god, this is like my favorite thing, and then it quickly became my most hated thing.
Is it because of what happens?
Yeah, and then everybody just destroys me, and it's like, holy crap! I got through it. I had to like cheese.
I struggled a
but-
bit with
Yeah.
it as well at the time.
I had a smart shotgun, so I was good.
Oh.
I did not have many smart
They make
weapons
smart
at that time.
shotguns too.
They make
Yeah,
smart
they do.
everything.
Fucking
Huh.
that shit is handy.
So I didn't really understand the smart weapons thing, but I kept noticing the enemy's bullets curved a lot.
Yeah.
I was like, what
Yeah.
the fuck is
And it's
happening?
always the tiger claws.
It's always the
they're-
tiger claws.
Yeah, they're the smart weapon people.
And then I realized, I was like, oh, and then I grabbed a smart weapon because again I was using melee, so I didn't really have any smart weapons that I was using. And then I noticed one time I picked up one and the box was huge. And I was like, what the
Mhm.
fuck is going on? Have y'all all played Mass Effect?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know the adrenaline shot, or not the adrenaline shot, the concussive shot perk that Shepard has?
Remind me.
So
Yeah, I'm not.
it's just like a round that like knocks over the enemies, but like it locks onto something and you can curve around walls. Like if you aim it properly, if you like bring it up and to the left, it'll curve around. That's
Yeah.
exactly what these smart weapons are. I'm just like, oh,
So you've gotten it to curve for you?
yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I've even did the stuff with Wakako, and I have the augment on my hand. I
Yeah,
have
same.
yet to actually see it work.
So like,
Well,
let's say
is it-
somebody's
do you
standing
have a
behind a
smart weapon,
box.
I
Yeah,
do
you have
have
to
a
have a
smart
smart weapon, and it makes that big blue reticle.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I guess I haven't seen that because
It makes a big blue box in the center
Like-
of your screen.
Yeah, like pretty massive. And then you just have to like
If
you have
they're
to-
in that box,
They're
it
getting
will
fucked.
find its way to them.
Got it.
yeah,
so-
you have to highlight them first with that
Yeah.
box, and then if they start taking cover behind something, they'll turn red behind that. So
and then
you can still
hit them. Yeah.
yeah, you can still fire on them, and the bullets will start hitting them.
So, like, let's say they're crouching behind like a half-high barrier. If you
Mhm.
put the box above them, like where they're in it, and then the box is above it, and fire, it'll shoot
curve.
and then curve downwards at it.
Yeah.
But apparently, I don't think you have pulled out any smart weapons because you would notice the big blue box right in the center.
I thought I did, but no, because I remember using a rifle that said it had the
smart
ability of ricocheting bullets.
Yeah, but that's not smart. That's a power.
That's power.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm just using all
in
power weapons.
The description of the actual thing. It'll say smart pistol
Tech
or smart
power.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, shit. I'm gonna go change my hand back.
By the way, who wants Johnny's melee ability? Because I do. Like,
I haven't done it.
His quick melee?
Yeah, I haven't done it.
Wait.
Oh yeah. No, are you talking about when you do the memories?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even. I was shooting because like his gun.
His gun is super OP.
His gun.
Oh,
Goodness.
I never did a quick melee with Silverhand.
Spoilers: he throws fire basically. Like he fires his gun sideways basically, and it just like spouts fire right out.
Oh wow,
dude,
it's pretty awesome, and it'll set your enemies on fire if they don't have a high enough ability, and then you just watch them fall on the ground, and then you just take their head off.
I want to play that over.
He is ridiculously OP.
Yeah, I'm over here just like shooting them in their head and watching them just splurt out.
Yeah.
See, that's one of the things I don't want. Like, I don't want a smart weapon is because I got really good at doing headshots, and if I get a smart weapon, I don't want just a bunch of body shots.
Yeah, it's just peppering body shots at your enemy the entire fucking time.
Yeah, like that shotgun though, dude. Like I was just like, okay, I got him highlighted. I just pointed like really fucking high, and it's just like. It's like fucking watching a mortar shell.
Have any of y'all run into the Princess Bubblegum double barrel shotgun? It's like bright pink, bright blue, but it's super fucking powerful.
I've never used it.
It has a huge kick, but it's powerful. There's so many cool weapons in this game.
Yeah, I'm saving my shotguns for my Nomad.
Meanwhile,
I'm a shotgun hobo.
Meanwhile, I'm just walking around with a fucking knife.
That's great.
Yeah, my Nomad is like very good with assault rifles and shotguns.
I'm just using.
I had a sniper for a while.
Pistols.
I didn't like it.
No, sniper controls are horrid.
Yeah.
Granted, I was on a controller.
Oh, I did try a smart sniper though. That was fun.
A smart sniper?
There's a smart sniper.
So the same kind of concept with the rifle? Jesus.
Yes, except you don't have to aim for their head. You just shoot them.
I just did a mission out in the Badlands areas where I had to play it smart or else I was going to fucking die because I couldn't get to a sniper that was like 3 floors above me. And he was behind cover. So I was just like, well, fuck, I gotta actually pull out a gun. And that's whenever I figured out how to use smart guns correctly.
Wait, how often does anybody else use grenades?
I use them fairly regularly. I use them fairly regularly.
I use them to not get swarmed and also for a couple of the boss battles.
Or to get somebody out of cover.
Like I was just using one in this one Cyber Psycho, yeah.
Yeah.
And because I completely forgot about them, and then after the mission ended,
of them.
I was just like throwing grenades, and then I was looking at my inventory. I have like 200 grenades.
I have quite a bit. I also have 200 of the health things.
Yeah, you will never need another health item except the inhaler.
What I didn't realize at one point it changed. It went from like one that barely gave you any health to the blue inhaler that almost completely fills your health back up. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh, well, I guess I'm done here.
I'm still using the green ones, but because like I spec'd out some like recovery crap, like my health regens pretty quick now.
I like how it's not a 1 to 100 scale the entire time. Like your health is not a 1 to 100.
Yeah.
Oh
like,
yeah.
I'm at like 230% health. I'm like, that doesn't do math correctly. Like that hurts me to look at because I can't figure out. And it took me forever to figure out what overheat was. I thought it was like somebody fucking shooting me with a gun that made me overheat. It's not. It's somebody hacking me.
Yeah.
And if you break their line of sight, it breaks the fucking thing. I was like, oh.
Yeah, but the thing is, like everyone, like any enemy, including cameras, if they have a line of sight on you. So anytime there's any one of those net runners, you got to shoot every camera and just make sure no one else can see you, and also make sure there's no floodlights around you because they keep hacking through that too.
Did you not get the I Spy perk?
Nah, because I usually run through it fast enough to where once I see I'm overheating, I can usually tank one.
I can tank it.
But then I can like run in, kill everybody. Because once I'm made, there's no real subtle anymore.
Once the screen says combat, it's all over. I'm just gonna whip out the knife and run at people. I don't care anymore.
Because the I Spy just basically points out if there's a net.
If somebody's trying to get you,
and see, like I've started understanding that better. So I'm using that in conjunction with. I'm just gonna fucking tell you guys. I have a quick hack called Suicide.
I heard about that. I haven't used it.
You just throw it on them?
I just find the net runner and fucking use it. And then everyone else just gets peppered with smart shotgun or smart AR.
All right, because like my quick hack that I've been using as go-to is Contagion. Which
I just now bought that one.
I just saw that, yeah.
Oh, it's so great because it's when I go into those random like police encounters kind of deal.
Poison the shit out of them.
Yeah, I'll poison the shit out of them and then go in with my pipe wrench and just start wailing on them while they're all throwing up. Yeah. But it's also great in like the firefights because it like spreads to other people at the same time.
I'll let you know, Contagion, like if you're needing to do stealth on anything, Contagion and Synapse Burnout are very good together.
Okay.
I heard about Synapse Burnout. I don't think I own that one yet. I just ran into somebody that sold mods, and I just bought something. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, it has Synapse Burnout, but it doesn't work as every time the way I want it to, where it won't completely take somebody out. So they'll get the Synapse thing, and then they'll be like, oh, I don't know why that happened. Everybody get on alert.
So the thing with Synapse Burnout is that the more like damage you do, if you get them like to around 50% health, they'll fucking die. Because it does more damage the lower health, the more damage they've already got inflicted on them. So if you do Contagion on them, it fucking inflicts damage, and then you do Synapse Burnout, it's instant death.
Oh, okay. Because like if I did any damage on them, if that didn't kill them, they're going to get alerted, and that alerts everybody. So okay, the Contagion and Synapse. All right, I have that.
The only thing is that you have to have a decent amount of like a good amount of RAM. And Synapse Burnout is only for one enemy. So the other one you may still have to shoot him in the head, but it'll be one shot because he'll have Contagion.
Does the word Blackwall mean anything to anybody yet?
No,
yes.
Not me.
All right.
Again, Act 3, you'll find out.
Okay.
I don't know what act I'm in then, because if I know what Blackwall is.
You're in Act 2. Still.
Okay.
Unless you've done some things to go to Act 3. You'll know when you're in Act 3.
Okay. All right. Shit. This game is too big. I got too many things to
do. But like the side stories are so fucking
They're really good. Yeah.
They're really good, yes.
Yeah.
I can't tell. Is there one path that will like overwrite the others? Because like I don't want to choose which main quest to hit if it's gonna like make me miss the other ones.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, Todd, but I have not come across that yet. But also, I think you're a little bit farther than me.
Because I'm at a point where it's like meet one person to do one thing, meet one person to do something else, meet one person to do something. And I don't know if I choose the wrong one, will it overwrite the other one and say, oh, well, you've gone too far. It's all over for you.
Yeah, because one seems like the corpo path and one seems like the street kid path. But I do one part of their mission, then I go to the next person and do another part of their mission.
I was just hanging out with Judy trying to get in her pants, but now that I know that's not going to happen.
Sorry.
So I'm gonna let you know. I don't think it really will change too much because I think you actually do need to do the missions regardless. Okay. It's just that in right before you hit the end of Act 2, there's gonna be something where it depends on which ones you've done. Like there's a choice, like a dialogue choice, where it depends on which ones you've done, what dialogue choices come up.
Okay. All right. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
By the way, knowing that Endrew has played a little bit of Johnny, the person that cut me off was Rogue.
Cut you off when?
She
Rogue?
cut
Really?
me off. She will not give me missions.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I pissed her off.
Okay. I think is it that you tried lying to her?
No, I didn't lie to her. I just did a mission that I thought was the better option. And it kind of backstabbed her, but not really. And now she won't give me any extra jobs.
Oh.
So kind of sad about that, but whatever.
Well, now I gotta watch out for that.
It's a mission out in the Badlands. I think they're called Badlands.
They're Badlands, yeah.
Now I want to check for the Batman car.
So I did.
Todd, I don't think you've burned a bridge.
No? Oh, okay.
No, because
Maybe I can win her heart back by talking to her about her friend.
No, I think that's like a scripted thing because she's not the fixer for that area.
Oh, okay. All right. By the way, Ed, is that map location right? The one I put in Slack?
Dude, I'm be totally honest with you. I don't know.
Oh shit! I think Andrew. I think the center reticle on that is the correct spot. I think I saw it on Facebook, as you can see by the screenshot.
So you guys were talking about a Batman car at the docks. Is that one of the...
No, not at the docks. It's in the middle of the Badlands.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I'm thinking of something else. All right, never mind.
Yeah. But for people listening, thank you again. This is our little spoiler part. Go play the game. Let us know in the comments what you think. Don't be a dick. Don't put spoilers in the comments. We'll probably revisit this later on in a couple weeks. In-game. Yeah, be a dick in game. Also, use your dick and or vagina in game. I haven't slept with a hooker yet. There are hookers, right?
Yeah, Joy Toys.
All the little lip icons. Is that what they are?
Yep.
Okay. Use that in the game. We'll talk about this game in a couple weeks, probably once we gotten farther into it. But thanks for listening. If I can find the stop recording button.
Arigato.
Dude.
CYBERPUNK.